Hello everyone and welcome back to the 3-Digit World Cup. We are here with the first matchup of the semi-finals weekend between the United States and Philippines. It is time for a banger of a matchup, seed number 2 out of qualifiers versus seed number 6, with the US being that higher seeded team from qualifiers. I think the expectation going into this tournament was for the United States to be a team that scales extremely heavily into the later rounds and to be basically the only team that can contest South Korea in the later stages. Philippines, meanwhile, have already taken down the number 3 seeded team of Hong Kong, former 3-Digit World Cup winners, Hong Kong, and the winners, I believe, in 2022, as 2023 was the win for South Korea last year in the 3-Digit World Cup. So this is a pretty solid roster as well. Hyuk and Nathan Ram, definitely the players to look out for on the side of Philippines. And, of course, the United States with a ridiculous roster filled with much of their OWC team and old OWC players like Caton, alongside some new, really strong talent. We do get some bans out here in the map pool. We've got the Nomad 4 ban and Nomad 5 ban from the United States, and the Nomad 2 ban from the Philippines. That Nomad 4, Nomad 5 are more gimmick-focused picks, and banning those out against Hyuk and Nathan Ram is a very good idea. Philippines, a team that really heavily thrives when both of those players are comfortable, and things like the Nomad Slider Tech and Low AR gimmick reading are places where those players are extremely comfortable. Philippines, meanwhile, banning out the Nomad 2 and DT3, the two most stamina-focused maps in the pool, in Longinus and Supernova. The United States, not in particular an extremely good speed team. They have struggled on pure speed maps in the past, but Taquito, for example, putting up a really good full combo with 98 AC on the DT3 in quarterfinals. Next best score in the lobby was like 400k. He was the only one above 1 mil. And players like Kama, Razorfruit, and Tallulah being very, very scary on stuff like that Nomad 2 this weekend. So I think well-placed bans for both teams, both doing their homework, both coming prepared, and looking good in this match so far for both squads. We get the first pick from Philippines, and it is going to be that Nomad 1. It's going to be basic aim mechanics for the Philippines to start off. I think not much of a surprise here for the Philippines whatsoever to be first picking into something like this. This is a basic aim map. There's not a lot to say about this one, other than Hyuk and Nathan Ram have very good aim, and the rest of the team should be pretty comfortable finding a player to fill in for this map. As a last player for Philippines, they had pretty solid runs on aim maps throughout the tournament so far. Nomad 1 last week was, of course, that low approach rate reading, so can't draw any comparisons from there. But Philippines, the number 1 score on Hidden 1, that was more of a density aim map. The number 2 score on DT1 last weekend, and pretty good scores for both of these rosters on the Fremod 1 last weekend, which was that aim consistency for the Fremod pool last week. Philippines also with the number 1 team score on Nomad 1 in round of 16, and on the Nomad 1 in qualifiers. These teams were tied for 4th and 5th on the leaderboard, respectively, between the United States and the Philippines. So very solid scores for both of these teams on those aim consistency maps. Looking to be a close one to start things off, but Philippines placing their trust in players like Hyuk and Nathan Ram to carry this pick for them. On the side of the United States, trying to take a break point are Taquito, Razorfruit, and Caton. That was the same roster we saw play Nomad 1 in qualifiers both times for the United States. On the side of the Philippines, going to be Hyuk, Nathan Ram, and Imhauster. Again, the roster that played Nomad 1 both times for the Philippines in qualifiers as well. So both these teams are running with very familiar rosters. I think you're going to be expecting to see a lot of the same roster for the Philippines. You're going to be expecting to see a lot of Hyok and Nathan Rem going in over and over again on most of the maps in this pool for the Philippines roster. On the side of the United States, mainstays to the roster are players like Decaton and Taquito. You'll often see them in for quite a lot of maps. Kama as well, a pretty solid all-rounder for this team. And aside from that, I think Razorfruit, Boshiman, Tallulah going to be those fill players on the gimmick and mechanics, respectively. Gimmick for Boshi and mechanics for Tallulah and Razorfruit. Early break, though, for Nathan Ram right before the start of the first TI time. Going to give the combo advantage over to the United States, and that is going to be rough for Philippines, but there's a break from Taquito on those back and forths. Nathan Ram will break once again, so it's a trade of misses, but that is better for Philippines than the old state of the game was. 2-2 in full combos. Accuracy pretty much even between both teams. You have a double S on Decaton, a 1x100 for Hyok right now. 99 for Imposter, 98 for Razorfruit on those other full combos, and 99 for both of the traded breaks from Nathan Ram and Taquito. We've awkward aim here in the middle of the map as we come up on the second Ki time, waiting on one of these teams to find any kind of a decisive miss, especially in the middle of the map. As your nerves rise during the slow section and culminate in the second Ki time here soon. If there are any misses for either of these teams, it's going to mean the world, as a miss halfway through really does break that combo down and break down the max score to about 600k, even with 99 AC or higher. But everybody holding strong during the second Ki time. Razorfruit, Decaton, Hyok, and Imposter all still holding those FCs. Taquito and Nathan Ram, not a single miss since the trade happened earlier in the map. But there goes Taquito, actually. Misses on the triple there in the top left, and now it's extra combo to the Philippines. The accuracy on the side of the Philippines as well, with better AC for Imposter in particular, about 0.5% up over Razorfruit, and Philippines looking pretty solid on this. Nathan Ram does trade the break, but it's not going to be enough for the score to go back over to the side of the United States, as Taquito does find the break as well. And it's all up to this double FC from Hyok and Imposter to keep it on the side of Philippines. But Imposter crumbles under the nerves, and now it's Decaton and Razorfruit with the two-way FC for the United States. Looking good is the U.S. on this first pick from the Philippines, as even with the accuracy disadvantage, the combo still in their favor going into the last quarter of the map with Razorfruit and Decaton on that two-way FC, and that is going to be more than enough to bring it back over to their side. Imposter looked really good, but a couple of shakes after seeing he was the only extra full combo for the Philippines to stand up to either Decaton or Razorfruit, and you can see the nerves now for Imposter here near the end of the map, the shakes and the cursor betraying the feelings there. But there goes Razorfruit, there goes Nathan Ram and Imposter as well. It's more breaks for Philippines, and despite the FC for Hyok, there's still one going strong for Decaton on the side of the United States, and Taquito has an extra 400 combo up on anyone else in the lobby. It's going to be enough to bring the score safely over to the side of the U.S. About a 200,000 score lead now, and should go a little bit further in their favor here at the very end of the map. Really solid team score from Philippines, but just not quite enough. That FC from Hyok is fantastic, but with not enough gas in the tank from the rest of the members, it's not going to be enough to put them over the finish line, and Philippines going to drop that first pick to the United States in this best of 13. USA starting off strong with that breakpoint. Very good score from Razorfruit, near 800k to be the deciding factor in that map. Decaton matching the score from Hyok, and Taquito pretty close, 60k away from Nathan Ram, but Razorfruit 150k up on the score from Imposter is really what did it in. And I think in most scenarios you kind of expect Nathan Ram to perform a little bit better on a map like that. Imposter doing a really good job of picking up that slack, but unfortunately the dynamic duo for the Philippines not functioning on all cylinders right now, not firing on all cylinders, and Well, if your engine's having trouble starting, you might not be able to get the start that you need. And now we wait for the next pick for the United States with a double speed stamina band coming out from the Philippines. I think it would only make sense to pick something like the DT2, the DT4, maybe the Free Mod 2 if you're just wanting to pick into high BPM. But I think for now, play it safe, get a good start, and pick into that Double Time 2 Amphitryon by Gentle Stick, the another difficulty. This is what you expect when you hear DT2 and think of a tournament map pool. It's DT streams to 30-ish BPM, high star rating compared to everything else in the pool. This one happens to be AR8 mapped by Yaspo. Only a minute 15 seconds on this pick. Very, very short, very, very intense, and very, very difficult with some finger control mixed into those longer streams at 230 BPM. And you're looking at the speed roster for the United States right now. Taquito, Razorfruit, Tallulah in at the moment. Could see Kama swap in for any of them, but this is likely to be the speed roster for the United States on most maps. Hyuk and Kageno in for Philippines right now. And I actually don't know who would be their third member on a map like this. Probably going to be Nathan Ram. Could be somebody like Neo Milo as well. Neo Milo did play Crest Time, End Time last week, but it is just going to be Nathan Ram. So once again, Hyuk and Nathan Ram in for Philippines, alongside Kageno as the third for that roster. Going to be Taquito, Razorfruit, Tallulah looking to go up 2-0 at the start of this match and get a good start of their own. Engine for the United States does seem to be firing on all cylinders right now. Really solid score from Razorfruit in particular, alongside that FC from the Caton to guarantee the point on Nomad 1. Let's see if they can win their own pick here on the DT2 and secure that breakpoint advantage, or if the Philippines can finally get the full cord ripped out and get off to a good start of their own, break back against the United States, and bring us to a 1-1 game state. Unfortunately, early breaks from Kageno not going to be helping out the roster on the side of Philippines right now. Nathan Ram and Hyuk still going strong with the full combos. Usually that's going to be enough, and there's a miss from Tallulah as well on the side of the United States. But overall accuracy way in favor of the U.S. right now. 97-98 for Razorfruit Taquito on the full combos. 95-93 for Hyuk and Nathan Ram. And that's where a lot of that score lead is coming from. And there goes Hyuk as well. It's only Tallulah to find the miss for the United States so far. Meanwhile, Philippines with misses on Hyuk and Kageno already. Razorfruit is going to drop as well. It's Taquito and Nathan Ram holding on to the full combos. Ever so slowly, the score lead shifting back over to the side of Philippines with that extra combo on Kageno. But there go Hyuk and Kageno as well. Taquito actually drops though, and now it's the full combo for Nathan Ram against nothing, but he drops as well. The spacing on these streams near the end of the map so big, so difficult to hold combo on, and the United States, after a really solid start for most of their team and a big accuracy advantage across the lobby, going to be taking that point. Average 97 accuracy for the United States, average 94 ac for Philippines is a pretty tough map to claw back. You really have to combo game your opponent in a map like that, and unfortunately not able to do so is Philippines on this map. Solid attempt there from Nathan Ram. Almost found the full combo with 91 accuracy. Almost top scored the lobby. Top scored for Philippines as a team with that 91 ac, but not quite enough combo game in this map, as the aim control and flow aim near the end does get a bit extreme, and if you don't have good accuracy, if you don't have good control, you're not going to be able to fake it till you make it during that section. Waiting on the next pick for Philippines now. You're looking at maps on which they had a pretty good time last week. You're looking at the hidden one from last week. You're looking at the Nomad 3 from last week, picking into some gimmick, especially with those double gimmick bans from the United States. Seems like a pretty good idea to me. And seems like Philippines agree. They're going to pick Nomad 3 this week as well. Shadow Castle by Ginkia, mapped by Jizag. This map pretty well known among tournament players. And pretty difficult as well. Full focus on aim control, streams that double back on themselves, and really tricky stream shapes and corners, and changing curvature all over the place, and expanding, accelerating, decelerating streams. You name the kind of stream, this map has it. And that is what makes it so difficult, is it pairs all of that all together at once. And so the aim control required to hit a lot of these streams is just off the charts. Really, really difficult map in terms of the control required to be consistent on something like this. But the players on the side of Philippines all very, very good at this sort of map. United States, meanwhile, does have some pretty good gimmick players themselves. I'm expecting to see Boshi Man in for this, but it doesn't look like we see him in the lobby right now. Taquito Kama does make sense to me. I would have expected maybe Decaton to come in for one of those players. Decaton, this map's certainly right up his alley as well. I think spoiled for choice on the side of United States for some of these players. Of course, Nathan Ram and Kageno are going to be in for Philippines on their side, alongside Hyuk. Also coming in for this one. No surprise to see Hyuk and Nathan Ram in for any map, basically. And it is going to be Taquito Kama Decaton on the side of United States. No Boshi Man in for this map, but I don't think you're really missing Boshi too much with this kind of a roster on Shadow Castle. Boshi would be a completely fine replacement for any of these players, but vice versa as well. So solid roster for the United States on this one, and despite those double gimmick bans, I think this is still going to be a tough fought map for Philippines if they are to win it. And here we go into the first set of difficult streams that doesn't get any easier, doesn't really get much harder either. It does get a little more difficult, but not by too much. And already we see a break for Kageno. Going to be Hyuk and Nathan Ram holding down the fort for Philippines as the United States launch into siege, trying to take another break point here. Taquito, Decaton, Kama still holding on to the full combos. Double SS for Taquito and Kama right now. 99 AC on the full combo from Decaton as well. Only 99 for Nathan Ram on the side of Philippines. And there goes Nathan Ram. Drops the full combo right alongside Taquito. Kageno is going to drop another miss as well for Philippines. And not able to hold on to extra combo afterwards either, as Kageno struggling a little bit to maintain consistency on this map for Philippines. And now it's just Hyuk against Kama and Decaton on the side of the United States. Looking very, very solid. And there goes Hyuk, and there goes most of the chances that Philippines had at winning this map. It's still possible, but you're relying on far more misses from the United States than on the side of Philippines as a team. And that doesn't look to be happening right now. Kama is still double-S-ing halfway through the map, and there is still 99 on Decaton despite the miss, despite him dropping the full combo, keeping it a little close, but 200k score advantage when the opposing team has 600k total is a third of their team score. Pretty large margin of victory right now for the United States. If the map were to end this moment, it would be a pretty wide margin, and they're keeping that about 1/3 score gap intact right now, growing it to over 250k by the time Philippines hit 750 themselves. Tough map, and unfortunately, despite this really good recovered team combo for Philippines, the recovery combos are there for the United States as well, and the SS is still intact for Kama 3/4 of the way into the map. What is this man doing, actually? You've seen how difficult this is. You've seen the kind of stream shapes that abound in this map. You've seen how much other players have missed so far in this map, and none of it seems to phase Kama right now. Just absolutely popping off on this score. This is an insane play. We pulled this in Roundtable, in the, I think, Roundtable qualifier tournament, and yes, it was in hidden, but barely anybody was getting above 600k on this sort of map. And for Kama to SS choke one slider break so far in the map, I think that's 150, maybe 150, 100 for Kama. Finally does drop that SS, does drop the FC, but it's not going to matter one bit. 500k score difference for the United States on that one. 3-0 start, and that is a 250, 0 miss, 0 100 play for Kama with 870k, almost an FC, almost a double S. If that doesn't say gappage, I don't know what does. That is some ridiculous type of score from Kama. Really solid score from Decatur as well. 670k there, still better than any of the scores on the side of Philippines. And, to their credit, really solid scores from Hyok and Nathan Ram, both right around that 600k mark, both beating out Taquito, but just not able to compete with the top two scores from the United States there. And United States, again, a lot of talk about this team in any World Cup, but more so in the OS World Cup and in the 3-digit World Cup, is that this is a team that scales extremely well into the later stages of a tournament. And by the time you hit semifinals in 3-digit World Cup, you're looking at maps that you're pooling for a 7.5 star, 7.6, 7.7 star pool. This is starting to get a little bit in the realm of skill cap for a lot of tournament players, and that is when United States as a country in high rank range World Cups really starts to shine, and that's what you're seeing so far in this match, is the skill cap for the United States just taking over, really, in this match so far. 3-0 start is really solid for them. It's by no means over for Philippines. They still have quite a lot of picks left. It is a best of 13. There's lots of room for error on the side of the United States. There's lots of room for breakpoints on the side of Philippines for them to take those breakpoints themselves and bring themselves back in the match. But it is a much tougher road than if they were able to win those first two picks of their own. And United States, again, looking to take advantage of that, picking into Bump by Daisuke Ishiwatari, excuse me. LMT's extra difficulty on Bump, 234 BPM. AR9 at 234 BPM, a relatively object-dense map, this one. Hard Rock definitely making it a lot easier to read for this sort of map, and kind of map where I wouldn't be surprised to see an overmod from the United States on Hard Rock, but also the kind of map where I wouldn't be too surprised to see just basic no mod and the players be relatively comfortable as well. As for rosters on the side of both of these teams, you're looking at Decatur and Tallulah right now for the United States. Probably double Hard Rock for them if I had to guess on a map like this. As for Philippines, you've got Hyok, Nathan Ram, and Imposter coming in for this map on their side. Imposter, not really a Hard Rock player, so I have to imagine it's going to be Hyok taking the Hard Rock for Philippines on this one. And Imposter probably on the no mod, actually. Don't see Imposter taking Hidden on any of the qualifier maps. I don't see Imposter taking Hidden in round of 16, and I don't see Imposter in for any of the Hiddens in quarterfinals either, so... maybe Imposter goes Hidden. Imposter did play Hidden on Vortex last weekend in 3mod 2. So it is possible, but if I had to guess, it might be Nathan Ram on the Hidden. No, it's going to be Imposter on the Hidden Hard Rock, actually, and Hidden only for Hyok. Interesting combination. Not what I was expecting for Philippines by any means, but solid roster nonetheless. I think this is Philippines saying, you know what, we're going to have Nathan Ram and Hyok on whatever they're most comfortable with, whatever makes the map easiest for them, and try to get the best scores possible on this map for the two best players on our team. And Imposter, if you can play the Hidden Hard Rock, if you can take that Hard Rock for this map, that's going to be awesome. On the side of the United States, Kama, Decatur, definitely very comfortable Hard Rock players, and Taquito, of course, a Hidden main, very comfortable with that Hidden mod. That said, this map is probably most difficult on Hidden. I would have to say this map is, with it being AR9, 230 BPM, really, really object dense. Lots of wide angle jumps in this map as well. Very easy to miss on, and already a couple of misses for the United States. Taquito and Kama both breaking on some of those wide angle jump patterns. Imposter holding his own on the Hidden Hard Rock for Philippines alongside Hyok on that Hidden and Nathan Ram on the Nomad. Three-way FC still intact for them. We're only a quarter of the way in, but it is score lead and combo lead toward Philippines right now. And this is why I talked about it. There is still room for error for the United States in this match. There is still room for breakpoints to come through for Philippines in this match. It's still possible. It's harder to bring a match like this back when you start off down 3-0, but it is still possible. That miss from Imposter going to be matched by another miss from Kama on the side of the United States. It's only Decatur with the full combo for the U.S. now, up against both Hyok and Nathan Ram with those FCs for Philippines. Bit of supporting combo from Taquito, but not enough to match one of those FCs. coming up on the halfway point right now, and it is going to be relatively difficult for the United States to start pulling this back if we don't see a miss from one of these FCs relatively soon from the Philippines. Really going to start to grow more and more now that we're getting closer and closer to the end of the map. And there goes Nathan Ram on the no-mod. It is a miss for Philippines here. Decaton still holding that Hard Rock FC. Hidden FC still intact for Hyok, so that is matched. Extra combo on the side of Taquito compared to Impouster or Nathan Ram. And Kama matching the combo from Impouster, so that extra combo on Taquito just completely unmatched by Philippines now. Squirrely's going to start to go back to the side of the United States. These combos have to hold for Philippines if they want to take a break point here. United States looking to make it 4-0, looking to consolidate a second break point. Philippines really, really wanting not to let that happen on this map. The flow aim section not catching anyone off so far, but shakes abound on this section as everybody having trouble with it. Impouster and Kama will both break there at the same time, but that's not the combo you need to break on side of the United States. If you're rooting for Philippines right now, you're hoping for Taquito or Decaton to break, not Kama, as that combo from Taquito is entirely the combo lead for United States right now. 550 combo up on Nathan Ram. And that is all it takes to bring the score lead back on their side. It's not quite 100K for United States here, but we're closing in on the point of no return for Philippines. And unless a break comes through for Taquito or Decaton right now, it's not going to go the way of the Philippines in this map. Taquito will break right at the end of the map, but I don't know if there's enough time. I don't think there's enough combo left in the map, even with that full combo still intact from Hyok, even with that extra combo for Nathan Ram. It's not going to be enough to bring it back. It's less than 100,000 points, but it is yet another point for the United States, 4-0 to start this match off, and a very solid team score from both of these squads. FC for either side, one on Hidden for Philippines with Hyok, one on Hard Rock with Decaton for the United States, and extremely close supporting scores on both teams. About 100K difference between Taquito and Nathan Ram in the favor of Taquito, and about a 50K difference between Impouster and Kama in the favor of Impouster. Really solid score on the Hidden Hard Rock, but just not quite enough for Philippines. Once again, it feels like I'm saying that quite a lot, but not quite enough is really the name of the game when it comes to those tournaments. You don't have to FC. You don't have to three-way full combo every pick. You just have to be better. And if it's always, every single map, not quite enough for your opponents, you can still start the match off 4-0. Next pick for Philippines is going to be that Hidden One, Hires High. Looking towards that inconsistency once again, this time with a healthy dose of awkward aim in the map. This one relatively difficult, lots of wide angle jumps and lots of anti-aim in this map, as is pretty standard for awkward aim maps in tournament. But the trademark pattern in this map is these back and forth linear jumps throughout the KI times that really make this pick stand out and make a lot of the jumps really, really tricky in this one. As is standard for Philippines, you're going to be seeing Hyok, Nathan Ram, and Impouster coming in for this one on their side. Impouster with that really solid play on Hidden Hard Rock last map really looked good. So I think, Impouster's playing well right now. Keep him in. Make sure your team is as comfortable as possible and get ready to go for this map. United States with Decaton staying in right now. I'm not sure that's going to be the roster for them, and it actually looks like Ramu going to be coming in for Philippines here. So not going to be Impouster after all. Can't say I disagree with Ramu playing this, though. Ramu also a very, very solid tournament player on the side of Philippines, and a very good aim player. FC'd the 3-mod-1 with Hidden last weekend for Philippines, so clearly very comfortable on this style of map. Inconsistency, awkward aim. And got 630K on the Hidden one last week as well. So, again, played both of those inconsistency picks with Hidden last weekend. Roster for United States going to be Razorfruit, Decaton, and Taquito. Definitely expected Taquito. Did not expect Razorfruit, Decaton to be in for this on Hidden. But I think Decaton good enough of an all-rounder to make it work, and Razorfruit has been surprisingly solid on skill sets that I wouldn't expect him in throughout this tournament. So I'm not going to question it. They know the team better than any caster does. And actually, early break for Taquito on the streams there on the side of United States. Philippines with no one finding that early break themselves. So ever so slight combo lead in the favor of Philippines. Likely not going to matter too much. That break from Razorfruit might start to matter a little more. There's these back and forth jumps that I was talking about earlier. And Takedo going to find a break on those. And now it's just Takedo with the full combo. About a 400 combo lead overall for Philippines now. And suddenly it starts to look better and better for Philippines. They may have found their pick, but as I say that, Ramu finding a break as well for their side. It is Hyuk and Nathan Ram once again to hold on to the full combos for Philippines, but Takedo on the maps he has been in for has been absolutely demolishing every pick. Multiple full combos already out of this guy in this match. He has been really popping off so far. You have to be scared of him if you are rooting for Philippines right now. And there's actually a break for Takedo, and that is massive for Philippines. They are going to be able to run away with this combo lead now. 2 FCs still intact for Hyuk and Nathan Ram, and this is absolutely their mark in this match. If the United States does not have enough comfortable hidden players to play something like Hires High, you have options in this match now. Fuyuno Hanashi is open, Saigetsu is open. You still have other free mods as well, like Energy Synergy Matrix or Final Savage. And this is starting to look like a strategy for Philippines. If you can build off of this hidden pick and pick into the rest of the hidden pool and find success there, then you can start to feel a little more confident going into some of those free mods later on in the match. But for now, it's all about putting a point on the board. Hold on to those FCs. Keep the combo on your side. It's Ramu matching the best combo on the side of the United States from Razorfruit right now, and other than that, there is nobody with any score or combo at all on the side of the United States. It's Philippines all the way in this map. Nathan Ram and Hyuk putting on an absolute show, still both full comboing 2/3 of the way into the map. 99.9 accuracy for Hyuk, I might add. 1x100 on this play so far. That is some kind of tragic miss for Nathan Ram, but I don't think it's going to matter. They're already over 600,000 score ahead of United States right now on the side of Philippines, looking very, very good in this pick. Extremely solid hidden one from them overall. Not going to find any full combos on this map, but again, not going to matter. That 600 combo from Razorfruit is paltry in comparison to the 600,000 score lead in favor of Philippines on this one. Rest assured, this is the first point for Philippines, 4-1 after this map. It's not pretty. It took them a couple of tries, but Philippines finally putting one on the board and giving us a match here in this best of 13. Solid run from Philippines, solid run especially from both Hyuk and Nathan Ram on that one. Really solid scores from both of them. 780k for Hyuk, 2x100, 3x miss. Held a 1x100 up to 2/3 of the way through the map. A very, very good score for him. Hyuk, Nathan Ram as well with 99 ac, 2 miss there. And even the score for Ramu, pretty comparable to the scores from both Razorfruit and Takedo. Takedo, I think a very surprising score for him. Usually somebody we think of as a hidden main, somebody who's really comfortable on the mod, but dropping the lowest score in the lobby, really having a tough time with that map. So good stuff from Philippines, and unfortunately not good scores for the United States if you are rooting for them in this match. But they're still up 4-1, and it's their pick next, so they still have definite control over this match. I think you're probably going to see the United States stray away from stuff like that inconsistency. Keep moving towards some of the DT speed, keep moving towards maybe some of the DT aim. Higher BPM stuff they have won both of so far. And while they did win the No-Mod one, they did just lose the hidden one, so I doubt we see them pick into something like the Hard Rock one here. Which really makes me think you're picking into like the DT1 or DT4 on the side of the United States right now. Keep amassing those points and hope you can take a break point before you have to start changing the pick strategy. And there it is, double time 4 going to be coming out for the United States. Jester by Culprit and Scorpion. Classic tournament map, LCFC's insane difficulty. This has been used in DT pools for as long as I've been staffing tournaments and commentating, so nearly 6 years now. This has been a staple in tournament play. If you haven't seen this one played so far, it's DT Tech with a primary focus on high BPM finger control and reading. AR 10.3, nearly 260 BPM. And a little bit lower star rating compared to some of the other stuff in the pool, as it is still a tech map. It is still very finger control heavy, and it is still relatively difficult in comparison to some of the pure mechanics picks in the pool. This is a really good map for the United States. This is a Kama map. This is a Tallulah map. This is a Taquito map. There's a lot of people who can play this on the side of the United States. I think Razorfruit could be really good on this as well. Really, the only two people I would expect to stay out on this map would be Decayton and Bashiman, both because they are not good speed players in particular on the side of the United States. I think if you're looking for better speed players, they abound on that roster in comparison to Decayton and Bashiman. So probably not going to be seeing either of them in, but I think any combination of 3 out of the remaining 4 is a good roster for the United States, with the exception of if they don't have Kama in, they're trolling on this one. Put Kama in on this map. He's going to be really, really good for you on this pick. Hyok, Nathan Ram, and Kageno looks to be the roster for Philippines. Again, Hyok, Nathan Ram playing every map for this roster, especially in the semifinals when skill cap is all the more important. This is going to be kind of a deciding factor is how well these two are playing today. They have been playing pretty well so far, but not quite well enough to put Philippines in an advantageous or even position in this match. Maybe we'll see them start to bring back some of those points to the side of Philippines. Could start here on Jester. Hyok, Nathan Ram, both pretty solid on the DT finger control stuff in particular, but again, I think you're looking to Kama on this sort of map. Starts out with the double S, the only player to do so. 98 AC for both Tallulah and Taquito on the side of the United States. 98 AC as well for Kageno, but 96s for both Nathan Ram and Hyok. Holding on to the combo, but not quite as good on the accuracy. Is the first slider finger control section. Tallulah going to find the first break in this part of the map. Multiple breaks actually coming from Tallulah. And now it's combo lead to Philippines on this one to start things out. Already a quarter of the way through the map. This is a relatively fast pick. It is with double time. There goes Taquito as well for the United States, and yeah, Kama's really good on this. He's 99% accuracy still on the full combo halfway through, but if 2 of your other players are breaking and there's a 3-way full combo for Philippines, doesn't really matter what Kama is doing right now. 97 AC on both Hyok and Kageno, 96 AC on Nathan Ram, full combo still intact for all 3, 200,000 score lead built up for the Philippines. And now, with about a third of the map remaining after this slow section, it's looking very good for Philippines in this map. And you know, it was kind of tongue-in-cheek to say maybe it starts here on Jester, as I thought initially this roster for the United States was going to be really strong on this pick. We'd seen all the high BPM stuff go the way to the United States. We'd seen the double speed ban from Philippines, but this is looking like a completely different roster compared to what we saw on maps like that DT2 earlier in the match. This is a roster that is extremely competent on this pick. Very, very solid scores so far, and they're still 3-way full comboing 3/4 of the way through. There goes Kageno finally for Philippines, but Hyok and Nathan Ram still have this 2-way FC, still have a 300,000 score lead, and still have the edge over the United States on this map. It's 99 AC for Kama, but AC be damned, the combo is what matters, and Philippines has got it. They've got the 2-way FC, they've got control of the map, and they've got themselves a breakpoint. Very, very good team score for Philippines. 740K for Kageno, right up there alongside Taquito and Tallulah on the side of the United States. And the 2-way FC for Hyok and Nathan Ram to bring it home in spite of that 9x100, 99.3 AC full combo for Kama. Definitely the standout score there from Kama, but what does it matter when you've got the 2-way FC on the side of Philippines? They're going to be taking that breakpoint for themselves, now up 2 points in this match. They're still down 4-2 compared to United States, but they do have the next pick. They can make this 4-3 if they pick well with this next one. You've got wins on DT finger control and a win on the hidden awkward aim in this pool so far for Philippines. Again, wins on the hidden one and the DT4 so far. Everything else going the way of the United States so far. If I'm Philippines, I'm looking at the rest of the hidden pool. I'm looking at maybe DT1 after how well we were just able to do on Jester. But I think the higher mechanics on DT1 might put a stop on the choice there for Philippines. So I would be looking at the hidden 2 in particular here. The United States did ban out that no mod 5 against you, so maybe you pick into something like Saigetsu as well, and hope to best them on the low approach rate rating. That said, picking low AR into Takedo Bashiman is usually pretty tough, but United States has not been a particularly good hidden team this tournament. They did not pick hidden at all in their previous match in quarterfinals. Philippines was the number 1 team on the hidden 1 in quarterfinals. In contrast, United States was number 9 and number 5 on the hiddens in round of 16. And Philippines was number 2 on the hidden 1, outer space, in round of 16. And yeah, Philippines is going to say, yeah, let's keep picking into this hidden pool. You know, they had the number 2 score on Taboo Tears You Up in qualifiers. And while the United States did have a better team score on Nevermore in qualifiers, through the bracket stage, USA has shown an aversion to that hidden pool, whereas Philippines have shown strength on it week after week so far in the round of 16 and quarterfinals. And they're going to attempt to do so once again here on Fuyuno Hanashi. This is just straight up, this is another tournament staple pick in the hidden pool. Aim control with a focus on wiggles in particular in this map. Not so much the snap aim and swaps between snap and flow that characterize a lot of modern alt maps, more so the flow aim and lots of high spacing wiggle patterns in this map is what characterizes the difficulty in this pick. Waiting on some rosters for both of these teams. Looks like Tallulah, Decate, and Takedo in for United States on this one. Hyok, Nathan Ram, and Ramu in once again on the hiddens for Philippines here. Takedo's been having a rough match so far, so I think this has been solid so far for Philippines on these hiddens, particularly because of that. Yeah, Takedo had a really solid run on the DT2, but after that has struggled to put up the kinds of scores that I think we expect of him or associate with him in tournament. And United States does not have their roster in time for the map. They have made some swaps too late into the lobby, and they are forced to use their one abort on making sure their roster is good to go for this one. So United States going to be down that abort in the event of some kind of technical issue, but I don't think they'll let that phase them too much. It happened last week as well, and they seemed just fine in that match. Takedo's had good scores on the DT2 and on Bump, but has struggled a little bit with picking up solid scores on the rest of this pool. This kind of map, though, right up his alley. Definitely something he is very strong on. In fact, the only full combo remaining for United States already, as multiple breaks come through early on for Keaton and Kama on their side. Three-way full combo still intact for Philippines. That's somewhat expected on this map to hit the intro and hold on the combo. I don't think the intro combos will matter too much for United States, especially with that miss from Hyok. Not going to end up mattering pretty much whatsoever. First KI time now, another break from Hyok, and that is big combo advantage to United States because of that. Kama's not too far back from a full combo, so you can count that as almost an FC. That is a huge break, though. 4 players breaking during that big flowing section in this first KI time. Decate and Takedo Hyok and Nathan Ram all finding drops. It is Ramu with the only full combo in the lobby. He breaks as well, but Kama, crucially holding for the United States, is able to give them the only combo in the lobby right now. Not quite on that FC for Kama. He did break early on in the map, but it's close enough to an FC that with 99.5 ACK, you may as well count it as one here. And now Kama may be able to carry this pick for the United States. Another break to come through for Ramu on the side of Philippines. Nathan Ram and Hyok with their work cut out for them. They're better combos than Taquito and Decaton right now, but Kama is up at that 760 combo, really pulling the score toward the United States. Not a big score lead. Break from the Decaton there is going to give Philippines a little bit of leeway with these recovery combos to start pulling some of that momentum back their way, but it's going to take more misses than that to bring the score lead back over to Philippines. Kama creating the entirety of this 80k score lead for United States right now. Decaton really struggling with only 260k at the moment. Multiple combo breaks for him throughout the map from the very start. And those extra combos on the side of Philippines now going to really start mattering. Kama finds the break there right after the break in the song, and Hyok is going to follow suit, but Nathan Ram is still holding for Philippines. Ramu is still holding. He finds the drop as well, actually, and now combo lead back on the side of the United States, just barely. Taquito and Decaton with those extra combos going to be enough to keep it from going to the side of Philippines. If either of them break, Nathan Ram's combo should be enough to start bringing this back their way. There's a break from Kama. It should maybe go over. Everyone misses that pattern, though, and that six-way life is going to favor the team with the score lead already. That's United States. And while it's not a big score lead, it's only 70k, there's only so much map left, and there's so many misses coming from Ramu on this part. Those chain misses going to bring the score lead even further on to the side of the United States, as maybe we can see this go the way of Philippines. Maybe we can see them claw it back if there's a chain miss. But I think the chain misses are over, the map is done, the final slider appears, and that is 70k for the United States. Again, one of those maps, just not enough for Philippines on this one, as United States take a 5th point and a 3rd break point in this match. And that is all they need on the side of the United States to start bringing some momentum into this match. 5-2, next pick for their side. DT maps have gone pretty well so far. They've got DT2, Freemod 2 as wins on the high BPM. They've got Nomad 1, Nomad 3, and Hidden 2 as wins for either aim or gimmick, and they're going to go with some hard rock. They're going to bring out the hard rock players on the side of the United States, and I think this is a really solid pick. United States has some extremely good hard rock players. Now, we haven't seen Bashi Man yet, and usually you would expect to see Bashi in for a precision pick like Tipsy, but I think even without Bashi, the hard rock players on the United States are just more than good enough to put up extremely good scores on this map. This is a pretty classic tournament pick. I think this was in OWC 2019 as a free mod map. You can fact check me on that. I'm going off of memory here. And originally in OWC, it was used as a free mod because it was CS5 AR8. It is now CS 5.5 with hard rock. That makes it CS 7.15 versus the usual CS 6.5. So precision and overall comfort on that precision going to be all the more important on this map, as I am now joined by a co-caster for this match. Hello, iFlame. Welcome.
Hello. Thank you very much. I see it is currently 5-2 in favor of the U.S. And have they picked Hard Rock 3?
They have just picked Hard Rock 3. No Hard Rocks picked by either team so far in this match, by the way, but Hard Rock roster for the United States, extremely good. You have Bashiman for precision in particular. Decaton and Kama, both also very, very good Hard Rock players on their side. And United States just took a break point on Philippines pick once again. That's the 3rd break point in this match for the USA.
Yeah, I believe this is a bit of an alt-focused Hard Rock, which is right up Kama's alley. Kama was, of course, like you mentioned, kind of one of the go-to Hard Rock players for the U.S. in OWC this past year, and We'll see if Philippines can match. Yak and Nathan Ram have been playing incredibly well all tournament, but some issues with the third player. So we'll see what they can do as we load into Hard Rock 3. And it's a very early miss for the Philippines.
Not too much to talk about at the start here. Early misses for Kageno and Nathan Ram, as you said, but I don't think those are going to end up mattering too much. This is a map that definitely scales up as it goes, so this early discomfort for Kageno a little worrying on the side of Philippines. Ashiman, Kama, Kaiten all still holding those full combos for the United States. And now it is time for the streams to really start up here. These longer back and forth streams with changing curvature, changing spacing can catch anyone out. And there go Bashiman into Kaiten. And there goes everyone. 6-way miss for the entire lobby. And that is a 100k score lead, not going anywhere on the side of USA.
Yeah, the US are going to be pretty happy with that trade ultimately. As long as there's no big combo on the side of the Philippines, they're not going to have any way to catch up to the US. Kama does find a miss though, but of course, Kageno has been trading those misses continuously, down at 91% accuracy, is not very comfortable on this map. So we'll see if Yak and Nathan Ram can hold on to these combos. Here we go into the next big stream as everybody holds on for the time being. Kageno finds yet another miss on the side of the Philippines. Everybody on the US holds.
This stream is basically the entire rest of the map, iFlame. Like, it does not end after this. It just keeps going. Maybe there's a stopping point here and there for you to adjust your grip, but that's about it. Everybody's still holding for the United States. Kageno and Nathan Ram finding those drops for Philippines, and that is going to be it. 400,000 score lead almost for the United States built up at this point. You have to think they're going to hit that margin soon, and there it is. United States taking their 6th point in this match on that Hard Rock 3. No doubt about it at this point. Solid scores across the board for the United States, really. Over 650k for both Bashi and Kaiten. Over 600k for Kama as well. The entire team within that 600k range. And, you know, while you have Hyuk up there competitive with those barely 700ks, actually, by the end of the map for United States on the side of Bashi and Kaiten, Nathan Ram is down a little below 500k, and Kageno really not comfortable with the map whatsoever. And, you kind of saw that right from the start of the map. Kageno with a couple of early misses, a couple of early trepidations, and as I said, the map doesn't get any easier.
No, and neither does this match if you are the Philippines. USA are on match point now, and it feels like Philippines, I'd imagine, are starting to run out of picks, right? They've already given up a couple break points here, and pool is quickly dwindling. You know, neither team has largely touched the Hard Rock pool, and I don't think Philippines wants to touch any of the Hard Rocks after that performance, so their options are limited. You've got Hidden 3, DT1, and the free mods, and I think the US are one of the most terrifying free mod teams as well, so maybe they want to go for something like DT1 and hope for the best. Well, I guess we'll find out shortly.
Yeah, it seems like a lot of the more skill cap focused picks have been the bane of Philippines in this match so far. So I think with the higher mechanics required for DT1, they might want to stay away from that and move towards something like the Hidden 3 or Free Mod 3. Despite the loss on Fuyuno Hanashi right before you jumped in, one of the two maps that Philippines was able to win was that Hidden 1 in Hires High. The other map, of course, being Jester in DT4. So not a lot to go off in terms of pick strategy here when a lot of these maps have been, you know, bad for Philippines. They're going to go with one of the free mods, though. They're going to go with Energy Synergy Matrix, ESM, as it's colloquially called in rhythm game circles. Kind of a classic rhythm game song, 160 BPM, and also tends to be stream aim. Flow aim and alt abound in this map. A little bit of tech and finger control as well, but mostly this is focusing on the flow aim, as you expect when you hear the song in the background. 160 BPM, high spacing flow stream aim is the name of the game for this one. CS3 for this map as well, so really comfortable on No Mod, Hidden, and Hard Rock. You have your anti-mod, free mods, and then you have picks like this that don't really get too much harder when you take a mod. So I think this is going to be something that's relatively good for Philippines. You know, if the United States has really good hidden players and really good Hard Rock players, you maybe want something that doesn't give quite as much of an advantage if those players are popping off for the United States. And certainly some of them are absolutely popping off. We get the rosters already in for both of these teams. Hidden for Taquito, Hard Rock for Decaton, Nomad for Kama, as if there were any doubt. Hard Rock for Hyok, Hidden for Imposter, and Nomad for Nathan Ram. I think this is also exactly how you want the roster and the mod loadout for Philippines.
Yeah, and this is one of the scary things about playing against the US, right? They have such strong rosters on just about anything. Taquito is one of the best players in the game at some of these aim control maps. We do see an early miss from Kama on the no-mod, but Imposter does trade it back. So that's a modded FC down on the side of Philippines and a no-mod down on the side of the United States. So very slight score advantage over to the US, but as we get more into the map, we're going to start to see more misses, and we'll see if Philippines can hold on. Let's see if Hyok and Nathan Ram can keep them in this match for at least one more point.
And it's going to be dependent on those two carry players for Philippines. They've been in for literally every map in this whole match so far, trying to stay in the winner's bracket here, but there goes Hyok with a miss just about halfway through the map. Decaton is going to match it on the side of the United States. So better for Philippines now with the full combo still intact on Nathan Ram. And no, that's Bancho. Taquito's FC still intact for the United States. Less than a 50k score lead though for the US right now, and Philippines keeping it close in this one. Imposter just about matching the combo from Kama, and with matching full combos for Nathan Ram and Taquito, this is about as close as it gets. Combos pretty much even across the board for both teams. Every mod matching their opponent as well. And Decaton actually going to be the first one to find a miss on the side of the United States. It's all up to Philippines to hold these combos now and bring the score lead back to their side of the lobby. But is it going to be enough, or is the accuracy drop going to be too much? And there goes Imposter on the Hidden, and now it's all in the United States court.
Yeah, Taquito's still holding on. Absolutely absurd accuracy on the Hidden, but there goes Taquito. That's a real miss, and all of a sudden Nathan Ram does have a chance to bring this one back alongside Hyok, but they're quickly running out of time. The score lead should go back over momentarily as long as we don't see any big drops on the side of Philippines. The question is, can they hold on through the ending? And they can. Taquito finds yet another drop on that last slider scene in Philippines. They're going to make it 6-3. They're going to give themselves yet another chance at taking this match, but it is United States pick up next.
Yeah, solid pick for Philippines. They scrape by on that one, just barely winning out at the very end of the map with that full combo from Nathan Ram, the only FC on the lobby, actually. Hyok not too far behind at about 690k, but you can see there the team consistency for the top two scores from Taquito and Kama really pulling up the average, and that time around it's Decaton having trouble. Talked about Taquito not having great scores throughout this match so far. Well, that time around it's Decaton having a little bit of trouble there on the Hard Rock. Undoubtedly the hardest mod on that map, but still worth pointing out, as those double 800Ks would have been enough with just a little bit more score to push United States over the edge and win them this match 7-3. Instead, it's going to be Philippines tasked with taking a breakpoint off this United States roster on Hard Rock 2. Cybernetics, the pick for the US, and this is a pick that I think they're going to be extremely strong on. Players like Decaton and Kama are going to absolutely rock this pick. And Philippines, I think, are going to have to find a third who is comfortable with this map, because Hyok and Nathan Ram can only do so much when the opposing team also has really good Hard Rock players in all three slots.
Yeah, Cybernetics is a fairly tech-heavy pick, so we could potentially even see Taquito as a third, but it will probably still just be Bashiman. A third for Philippines is a little bit less clear, and I feel like this is the kind of map where that third player will hurt a lot. It is a fairly tricky map in terms of difficulty, so I don't know if they're going to have any third player that's comfortable enough, whereas US has three players that are comfortable. But what it does mean is if we see the United States players find some unlucky misses, Hyok and Nathan Ram could potentially match two United States scores with an FC if they're playing incredibly well, but that's going to be hard to do.
We'll see if they're able to pull it off on the side of Philippines. For the United States, Bashiman, Kama, Decaton holding the fort down for the USA, looking to win this match 7-3, looking to close this one out on this pick. For Philippines, it is Hyok, Nathan Ram, and Ramu looking to upset, looking to take another break point, looking to extend this match and extend their stay in the winner's bracket that much longer. This is, as you said, very technical map. Lots of 1/3 and 1/6 in this map. Those 1/6 are 255 BPM bursts. A lot of the difficulty in this map not put into those, but rather put into the wiggles. You already see multiple players breaking on those. Kama, Boschman, Decaton, all breaking, actually. Decaton holding the combo. Ramu finding the break on the side of Philippines, but Hyok and Nathan Ram still holding these FCs. It's the accuracy bringing the score over to the USA, just as on TFC, as is on Cybernetics. Accuracy doing wonders for the USA despite those early combo breaks.
Yeah, Bosch's miss was so early that only 50 combo behind is not going to be a big deal whatsoever. What it's going to come down to is this next Ki section. This is where Hyok and Nathan Ram have to show up. I'm not sure that either of them can afford to miss with Ramu struggling. And here we go.
All right, blink and you miss it. This map is just under 2 minutes, actually. Very, very short pick. Any combo breaks during this part can be very impactful. This is the exact middle of the map. Again, that accuracy for Ramu really bringing down his overall score. So any breaks for Ramu as well are actually very significant. You drop that score, max score, down to about 400K maybe now for Ramu. And there's that break. There's the combo drop. It's going to be going over to the United States soon as they continue holding on to these three pretty big combos. One FC on Decaton, but good recoveries for Bashi and Kama. There goes Kama going into the last section here. The slider aim in this part and the space triple is going to be the main point of difficulty. Bashi also dropping. It's only Decaton now on the full combo, but Nathan Ram is going to match that miss from Bashi, and it's Hyok versus Decaton in the 1v1 to end this map off.
And Decaton is such a talented hard rock player. Decaton can certainly close this out as both players on the Philippines find another miss. Only Hyok holds on, and into that last stream section, Decaton does not find the miss, and the United States are going to close this one out.
Nicely done from the United States. Nicely done from Decaton and Hyok, both finding the full combos on that map, but unfortunately for Philippines, not able to extend their stay in the winner's bracket, not able to take that break point. The combined scores from Boshiman and Kama, too much for the other high score from Philippines from Nathan Ram to matter, and that is going to be GG 7-3 for the United States at the end of this match. A really solid showing from Philippines. They showed they can take points off of one of these top two teams in the tournament, and after already having beaten the third seed in Hong Kong, I think making a very good case to get into that grand finals weekend for themselves. Looking still pretty strong despite the loss.
Yeah, the United States are, of course, going to be facing the winner of South Korea, Brazil, and Philippines are going to drop to the losers bracket. We won't know their opponent until the end of the weekend.
That is going to do it for us for now. We do have some other matches coming up this weekend as well. The next match for this weekend is going to be at 14 UTC today, Saturday. That is in about 9.5 hours. It's going to be South Korea versus Brazil, also in the winner's bracket. Make sure you tune in to catch that one. And then we'll have a couple more losers bracket matches throughout the weekend as well. A couple of housekeeping things before we go as well. First, if you want to see these players continue competing in the 3-Digit World Cup, if you enjoy watching the 3-Digit World Cup, please consider donating to the prize pool. Helps make sure that there are signups year after year, that the players are motivated for this tournament, and that there are solid cash prizes for the winning teams. In addition to that, if you don't just want to donate to the tournament and you want a little something for yourself instead while still supporting the 3-Digit World Cup, check out Blue Bunny. Blue Bunny was kind enough to sponsor the 3-Digit World Cup this year, so check out their site, bluebunny.store, and use code 3WC10 for 10% off their high-quality tablet covers. That's going to do it for housekeeping. Thank you very much for watching the 3-Digit World Cup in this winner's bracket matchup between United States versus Philippines. Congrats to the United States. Good luck to Philippines. And we'll see you all back here in about 9 hours for South Korea versus Brazil, the other winner's bracket match in the semifinals. Take care.